So this will be interesting. I mean, there is more experience on the team with the silvers, but there's not a huge gap between high blue, low silvers. I think when you get to that level of game, you've really kind of climbed up the hill of learning. And for the most part, ships and players have kind of gotten to the same minimum level of proficiency at that point. By the way, anyone listening, if you're not in the official Discord, one of the best ways to get better at this game is by checking out the official Discord, joining the Shipyard channel, joining new players, asking questions. It's a really good resource, and I tell everybody they should join it. Plus, the people are, for the most part, nice. We don't talk about the not nice people. I'm just kidding, they're banned. I'm just kidding, they're not banned. Let's see. I hope it didn't break. We've been on waiting for other players a long time. We're going to put our money on someone's running a potato. That's the safe bet. The kitty cam is actually not a bad idea. Although I'll have to clean my desk, which makes me sad. Not because my desk is sad, but I don't know. I just, somehow magically gain clutter on my desk. I don't know how it happens. It's just magic. It's fairies, really. I'm immediately suspicious of anyone who has like an immaculately clean desk without any papers or anything out of place on it. That's suspicious. I mean, unless you're like a streamer and you're sponsored by a gaming table. I don't know where I'm going with this. This commentary is so weird tonight. Yo, do you make YouTube vids? Yes. I guess. Love your stuff. How can you love my stuff if you don't know if I'm pretty sure my YouTube videos have my name on them. Okay, there we go. Angry Man's. Cool. I'm sick as hell. Disclaimer. I don't have all my brain cells all the time. Spectator chat OPSEC. I know he put it in team. I realized that after I all chatted, that must look so shady to them. They're just sitting, doing their deployment, and this guy says, "Wow, I re-upload all my videos to YouTube." In case you didn't get it, that you're being streamed, What an asshole, that guy. What am I doing? All right, Dino Defender. We've got 450 S3H backpack. Are these expensive missiles? Are they? Yeah, they're got to be S3Hs, right? So I've talked about this before. Let's see. And it is chaff. Is it chaff? Okay, there are 184 AMMs. This used to be popular. Hey, Cosmonaut Dimitrov, thanks for the follow. This used to be popular back before people could bring... I shouldn't say that. People have been bringing Hey, cool. I'm glad you're here. People have been bringing over 300 size 2s for a long time. So it's not necessarily that this build was always good, but it used to be a whole lot more popular before there was OSP barfing 36 S2s at a time. So, and to go with that, we've got the S3. I am expecting, actually, I don't know. There might not be any missiles on OSP. In which case, you got lucky, sir. You got very lucky there are no missiles. Killer Cat coming in with an, oh goodness. You, sir, are oh so lucky there's no missiles. You know what? We're going to check OSP right now. These are going to be Para 450. These are going to be Plasma 100s. This might be Garnet. Is it Garnet? Yeah, it's Garnet. I made that fleet. I know it. And 450 liners plus an LRT plus a capper and show me. Okay, 250s, not 450, 250s. So anyway, where were we? You got lucky, sir, that there's no missiles on the OSP side because this is not sufficient. Oh boy. So it's going to be interesting. It will come down to how they've designed the seekers on these S3Hs. Speaking of, here comes some to remove the LRT tug from life, the universe, and everything. Oh, they're corkscrew even. Why not? Why not? Yeah, go in, blow it to Kingdom Come. Did they not kill it? It's basically dead. So anyway, yeah, these players on the A&S team, you're lucky. You're lucky there aren't OSP missiles to punish these point defense grids. Because if there were, I 100% without a doubt, both of those ships would be having really, really, really bad times right now. Instead, they're going to be firing a lot of S3Hs into these Ocellos. We'll have to see how the Ocellos hold up. If they're played well and they have the right jammers and the Seekers aren't built correctly, it might be a bad time for them. But if they have, you know, by built correctly, I mean the one Seeker that is just a complete pain in the butt to deal with as an Ocello is an ARAD plus like an active radar also on it. That sucks. It's awful to deal with as OSP. Another S3H backpack, so a lot of S3Hs here. On 450 Axford, that's going with an E-War and a beam? No, rail. Ooh, interesting. Don't see that too often. Mostly because one rail, I talked about this before. I'll say it again. Always got to mention it. Ocello's getting missiled. No, they're not. What are you talking about? Look at that. Look at that wibbly wobbling missile. It's not getting anything. Did it actually hit? Oh my lord. Okay. Were those decoys that were doing the wibbly wobbling? Maybe, okay, there's no jammers here. There are no jammers. Oh, that makes me really sad. So I don't have high hopes for the OSP team. Let's see. Are there jammers over here? Okay, these Ocellos have jammers. But they're getting 450 by the beam or the backpack battleship. Is this... Did they both get hit by missiles? Or am I looking at the wrong one? No, I'm looking at the right one. Is this just 450 damage that they took to deal this much? Yikes. Okay, well, real quick, is this another... Okay, so two backpack, one all S3H, and an S3H backpack BB. Whew, that's a lot of S3Hs. Yeah, I have a really bad feeling about these this OSP lineup. I mean, they are doing a good, strong push into the middle here. I don't think they're even returning fire on this battleship. Are they? Has it been? Yeah. Sorry, I should say they are returning fire. That fire is being completely ineffective right now. Uh-oh. If these are direct fire S3Hs, they might all eat a rock here in a second. Wow, those are fast. Oh, they are crews. Okay. So let's see how these Sarissas do. They are on target. Oof. Here comes rail. Here comes 450. Here comes more S3s. Let's just back up a little bit here so we can see the carnage. These might actually come in at the same time, which would be horrifically bad for these Sarissas to try and deal with. They're curving awfully far over here. It looks like they're finally going in. Let's see if the Sarissas are able to pick any of them up. It depends on how close they've... This is so infuriating to me when playing that. There they go. Oof. And absolutely no jamming happening at all. Well, one of the... Sorry. This Ocello did put up its radar jammer, but it's not enough. That Ocello's completely gutted. Yeah, the days of the impenetrable Ocello point defense grid, I think, between the corkscrew to deal with the Sarissas, the long angled cruise line vectors, and the fact that ARADs have just blown up in popularity, have really put a damper on the whole Ocello immune to missiles shtick. That's really not true anymore, especially the ARAD active radar backup. Or you can build them the other way around too, I think. In order to dodge those as in Ocellos, you have to turn off your radar and drop chaff, and not like a little bit of chaff. You have to drop enough chaff so that the missile will go for it instead of your enormous Ocello. Oh, it looks like those got juked. The command radar combination successful there. Yeah, so you have to turn off all your jammers, you have to turn off your radar, and you have to drop chaff. So, and all those three things have to happen before the radar homes in on you, or you're going to get hit by it. So, yeah, real rough situation for the OSP to be in. On top of the fact that they're now getting shot from this angle down here from the battleship, and they're also getting shelled from on high from the Axford. Oh, in comes the beam BB. Did a little sneaky there. It's not dealing too much damage. This is maximum range. And I doubt there's FPAs on this thing. Yeah, one ERAG, but it's dead. No FPAs. So it wasn't a whole lot of damage, but it is still a beam. And looks like more jamming is going to be effective against these missiles. Nope. One came through and hit. Yeah. The story here is just really unfortunate for these Ocellos. You know, I wonder now what actually the best course of action, because I'm in the same boat. I don't know what to do if someone fires an ARAD active radar missile at you. If your jammers don't work, you don't have chaff typically on an Ocello, because if you do the double jammer combo and you have point defense, that's all your mounts, right? Plus your cannons. There's nowhere to stick chaff. I suppose you could double them up and have the radar jammer on one and the command jammer on the other, and then put chaff on them like that. That's still kind of rough, though. And instead, those S3Hs are just slaughtered. Even at 50% hit rates with an S3H, you know, you're making your dollars back. No problem. And yeah, if you do something like this, oh, looks like those just missed. I didn't see any actual jamming happening there. Here comes the beam. And this Ocello might be capable of fighting this Axford a little bit, but when that battleship gets in range, from this position, this profile, slamming HE into the side, it is going to die really, really fast. Here come the shells right now. We'll just go ahead and see it completely eat it in the side. Yeah, now it realizes maybe a little bit too late. Here comes volley number 2. Oh, it's decided to swap. Maybe shooting at the the line ships up here. All right, let's take stock of the situation. So the 450 liners are in an okay position here. They're a little bit far ahead for my liking because they're pushing out from behind the cover into open space against a heavy missile backed fleet. I guess those were the containers. Yeah, those easily get taken out. Based on the fire rate, I think these are not buffed heavily. I don't see any... Oh, they've gone for the missile programming bus? Okay, so there's 2 ammunition elevators. I made an entire video about this, but I'll say it again. When you take a big ship that has a lot of module space available, you really want to hit that 5 number of buffing. Either 4 and then 1 rapid cycle, or maybe 3 ammo elevators and 1 rapid and 2 rapid cycles on a line ship. If you're on a battleship, 5 ammo elevators minimum, in my opinion, to buff that ship's fire rate up enough. You're spending so much capital in terms of the ship, in terms of the weapons and the ammunition and everything. Like, wouldn't you want to fire twice as fast out of a ship that you're talking, what, 5 ammo elevators is 100 points, right? 20 per, I think. 100 points to double your fire rate. That makes pretty good sense in my book. I'm not a fan of doing other things and dropping out the buff modules. It might make sense if you're talking about a smaller ship that can't take as many buff modules. You know, obviously there, your math is different. But for these big ships, it's very, very worthwhile, in my opinion, to try and do that. Even over, you know, like a drive combo or something. Let's see if these... Oh, nope. The size 2s missed there. Oh, these are size 1s? Okay. Not sure about that. Is this the... This is the Axford with the beam. All right, so it's going to be beaming this Ocello here in a second. And I think it's relatively fresh. Yeah, probably not too much damage going to be pumped in by this 250 Ocello. Let's see what's happening up here. The 2 line ships. Well, they've picked a fight with a battleship, which is not what you want to do with unbuffed 450 liners. Yeah, you've got maneuverability on your side, but how much maneuverability is it? Definitely not enough to dodge 450 in open space at this distance. And especially... Oh. Yeah, I think this ship is completely out. Yeah. This is one of those kind of perfect examples where I would say there, in most cases, is a spot for a container bulk freighter in OSP, you know, in most cases. Unless you're going to take some other form of missile, the amount of pressure and utility that containers bring, especially against, you know, an enemy like this, You throw out a couple decoys, you throw out a couple mines, you know, some S3Hs get shot into a decoy, and then that's a huge chilling effect on how snapshot the enemy team wants to be at firing missiles. And then on top of that, you bring like some 200 containers or something and start lobbing it at ships that have taken damage. Or, I mean, in this case, these point defense grids are hella weak. You could maybe just pierce straight up this one with a couple containers. Like, I'm sure they don't have their enough AMMs to fire the 3 or 4 AMMs it would require per container to kill them before you go through and kill. Well, I mean, there are some defenders, but yeah, just that amount of pressure from a ship like that. On the other hand, you could take like a 300 size 2 missile BARF OSP ship and do good work there too. OSP, I think right now, you know, against certain matchups, just not taking any missile support at all. Oh, well, as I say that, there is a torpedo going out, which looks like it hit. Might be too little, too late. Oh, that one got in too. That was a big pickup. That came out of, I think, this ship? Oh yeah, it's got the, it has one 4-pack of torpedoes on its side. Interesting. Oh, and a rail on the bottom. Okay. This thing is all kinds of out there. But it hit. You know, as I've been talking this entire time, OSP have maintained a 3 cap. They are up points-wise. Oh, it's a real hard game for them, though. These line ships are continuing to have. Well, this one's rolling the wrong way now. I really hate when this happens to me. It's gonna try and roll all the way over, I think. Yeah, there it goes. Whew. Well, yeah. I mean, so unlike last time, this ship actually right here is managing to, by the fact that it's technically not dead yet, it's contesting this A point and stopping the ANS team from capping it. Actually, they should both be in range of this. Why isn't it capturing? This counts as armed. Well, I mean, it is armed. So why? Huh. Weird. I don't know why that's not happening, actually. No, I understand this is contesting, but like, okay, there it goes. Now it's coming up. I would have expected it to be flashing. Hey, Fragsar. How you doing? If it was contested, I would have expected it to be flashing. Instead, it just wasn't moving. Was he outside of A? Oh, yeah, he might have been outside of A a little bit. Okay. So, with that change in events... Oh, and there comes the beam again, doing more beam work. Is the AI any good at this? Yes and no. What I mean by that is the AI is very, very good at using the weapons available in the game. Sometimes it'll be faster than a player at assigning weapons and things like that. What the AI is very, very bad at, like most AI are, is pitched battles and harassment. There's very few games that an AI does that well. You know, I could probably, off the top of my head, name like under a dozen, right? So what the AI will typically do is when you give it a fleet, depending on the game mode. So if it's capture point, it will go and take capture points basically to the exclusion of all else. Like if it sees an enemy in range, it will shoot at it, but it will not maneuver. It will not do anything. It doesn't like take strategic positions. It just goes from point to point to point, capturing all the capture points. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah. On the other hand, if you change it to like Annihilation, it will just go and find the very first enemy, and it like W moves towards the very first enemy that it finds. And hey, thank you for the subscription. Woo, beer money. Woo. I don't have any beer in the house. I'm just but now I can go buy some. Thank you, sir. I assume, sir. Didn't mean to, just based on metrics. That's educated guess. Cool. Yeah. I am at home rethinking my life. I'm streaming. Was it for the cat? I'll get her some num nums. Where was I? I'm totally lost now. What I was talking about. I was gonna say something. Oh, yeah. So if you didn't know, Terra Invicta and this game have the same publisher. Hooded Horse Games, I think it's called. Or is that the developer? And I have to look it up now. I think it's Hooded Horse Games. Yes. Yeah. Hooded Horse Games is the publisher. And they publish a lot of sci-fi, strategy type games. So like Terra Invicta, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically the people that made the mod for XCOM. I should back up. So XCOM, people probably know what that game is, right? It's like a strategy, sci-fi type dealy thing where you command soldiers around. Anyway, they made a mod for it called The Long War, and it changes the game into like this huge, long, like decades-spanning slog where you fight the aliens for like, the Long War, right? And they were like, the people who made that, I guess, got it in their heads that that wasn't like minutia enough for them. It wasn't complicated enough. So they went back in and designed their own game where the actual like strategy components of the game, it's kind of a lot more like point and clicky type stuff, and you're in menus a lot instead of dealing with graphics so much. But anyway, it's like a super hardcore, like you from the ground up are designing spaceships, and you have to go and colonize the solar system, and you worry about like the delta V of orbital mechanics and whatnot. And it's a really cool game, but it's super like niche, even to the craziest degree. Anyway, it got really big, and so a lot of people, and I'm one of them, were interested in that game because we're huge space nerds, right? And through sales and other stuff from Hooded Horse, found this game, which I like a whole lot more than Terra Invicta, actually. But anyway, that was a huge tangent to go on for saying that, yes, they go on sale together. They're both they're both published by the same publisher. So, hey, Terra Invicta is a cool game. Check it out. I don't know. Buy this game first, though. It's better. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this shit in a video and publish it to YouTube or whatever. I have no idea. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get sued or whatnot. So as far as this game goes, it looks commandingly in the hands of A&S now. All right, cool. I don't know anything about what I'm doing. I just turn on a camera and start, talking. So this BB, it's got restores left. It looks like its VLS got blown off, but it doesn't care because there's no missiles left. The rest of it is fully functional. It's driving towards A, punishing anything that's left in this universe on OSP team, which is not a whole lot. Got crippled Ocello number 1, crippled Ocello number 2. And meanwhile, they're going for a 5 cap with untouched Axfords. Looks like this one did get killed. This was the one that ate a torpedo. I wasn't paying attention. I'm assuming what happened is it got critted off of the torpedo and did not scram its reactor and went kablooey. I'm pretty safe in assuming that's what happened. Not that it really matters because the entirety of the OSP team is actually dead. They have one shuttle left. Are there weapons on this? There are. Are there missiles in the tubes? No. Okay. So as soon as this Ocello dies, the game will be over. I mean, it's been over for a while. That's kind of why I felt safe going off on that tangent. But yeah, so just a real stark example of maybe in the chat room before games, like, hey, is anyone bringing missiles? Hey, is anyone bringing containers? You know, I'm bringing this. What are you bringing? Just a little bit of coordination to make sure that you don't leave a gaping hole like no missiles on your team. That would have made an amazing difference. Also, the Ocellos, I feel for them because with some of the new Seeker combos coming out, it is a hard life, but still putting that radar and command jammer and making sure you turn them on when there are missiles coming in. Also bringing Sarissas, especially Auroras. Auroras are so crazy good at fighting hybrids, and I didn't see any of them, which is a huge shame. Sarissas are good, don't get me wrong, but they are very vulnerable to the kind of juking that you can get with cruise-guided missiles. They're super vulnerable to that. So, but an Aurora will work no matter what. I've said it before, Auroras are definitely the best point defense option you can take on OSP. And unfortunately, there weren't any available. And if there were, they might have shut down some of those hybrids. And all 4 of those Ocellos got absolutely slaughtered by the size 3 hybrids. Yeah, but so the thing about that, Neko Boy Blue, is if they cruise control and dodge their missiles around the place, then that's not true anymore, right? And we saw one of those missile strikes come in and swing out wide to the side. There were 4 Sarissas shooting at that pack of 6 size 3Hs the entire flight time. I mean, basically since they came out of the tube, the whole time, I think they hit one of those missiles. Every other Sarissa shot missed, and those missiles all slammed into the Axfords and just obliterated them.